Pirate I Was Dug Up by Robin, Chapter 661 to 678. Chapter 661 One-Handed, Sky. Fishman Island is boiling. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. Extinction disaster has come to Fishman Island. Shadows from Ark Noah that cover half of the island are shrouded in shadows, making everyone on the island in deep fear. Run away, Noah fell. Let's go everyone. Escape, but to escape there. Dead, Fishman Island is going to be history after today. Woohoo, Mom, where are you? ... With the constant approach of Noah's Ark, the moaning on Fishman Island continued. Countless people cried out in despair because of fear. Outside the Dragon Palace. It's all because of me. Mermaid Princess Shirahoshi clenched her hands tightly on the shark Mekaro's back. Noah must have come for me. Lord Van Dyken is angry. It's all because of me. No, we must not let Noah fall on the island. Shirahoshi's face turned pale. However, at this most critical time, Shirahoshi, who has always been timid and loved to cry, miraculously did not cry. Lord Roland, Yamato's sister. Shirahoshi looked at Roland and Yamato who were beside him, with a resolute look on his young face, as if he had made up a certain determination in his heart. Shirahoshi, don't you want to? Yamato widened his eyes in shock. Yes. Shirahoshi nodded firmly. It's okay, as long as I leave this island, Noah will definitely leave with me. In this way, everyone will be fine. Shirahoshi pretended to be strong, obviously scared to death, but there was a smile on his face. Shirahoshi. Finally, Roland spoke. Lord Roland, is there anything else? Shirahoshi moves VV meal. I promised Neptune just now that if I let you go, I have no face to meet your father. Roland spoke calmly. But who do you think I am, Shirahoshi? You just need to watch here obediently. Roland grinned confidently. Isho. Lord Roland. Seeing Luo Lin's confident expression, Shirahoshi couldn't help losing his mind for a while. Shirahoshi, that's Mr. Roland. Yamato is also brilliant. Isho. No matter how big it is, it's just a mere ship. For Mr. Roland, it's just a piece of cake. Under the watchful eyes of Yamato and Shirahoshi, and of every panicked and desperate inhabitant of Fishman Island, Roland took one step at a time and ascended to the sky. Hey, look, there seems to be a person there. A human being. He went towards Noah. Who is that person and what does he want to do? ... All over Fishman Island, people who noticed Roland's appearance couldn't help shouting in shock, that person. That is the hero Roland. The legendary hero is about to shoot. Please, heroes of humanity, please save our Fishman Island. Please be the hero of our Fishman Island. ... In Coral Hill, the Fishman residents who had watched Roland board the Royal Phoenix boat recognized Roland's identity and shouted and prayed with excitement. In the sky, Luo Lin walked step by step. Finally, it stopped only a few meters away from the Ark Noah. Looking up at Noah, an ark half the size of Fishman Island, Roland sighed lightly, raised his right palm calmly, passed through the bubble wrap, and stuck to Noah's bow. The next moment of boom, the pressure as heavy as a mountain came, causing Luo Lin's footsteps to step on the void to make Vivi unstable. A circle of shocking ripples spread out, making the sky of Fishman Island like a rippled water surface. But fortunately, in the end, Luo Lin resisted, holding the huge Ark Noah with one hand. This is simply a mythical picture. In the sky, the ripples of power gradually dissipated. Until this time, the people on Fishman Island were shocked to discover that the falling Ark Noah had stopped for the first time ever. That person, the person from before, he blocked Noah by himself. Is this really possible? Suddenly, a fishman pointed at Roland and shouted aloud. Then more and more people saw the figure under the huge Ark Noah. Compared to the huge Noah, Luo Lin's body more than 3 meters tall is also inconspicuous at all. But it is this disparity in body shape that makes the contrast even more intense. That man, is he a god? This is no longer something that can be done by human beings. Holding Noah with one hand or something, I would rather believe that it is God, the savior of our Fishman Island. Fishman who noticed this scene cheered like a tsunami. At this moment, the whole island of Fishman is boiling. Chapter 662 Standing Tall Like a God. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. Noah, an ark half the size of Fishman Island, fell from the sky. The day of Fishman Island collapsed. A shadow called death haunted everyone on the island for a moment. Despair is spreading. But at this moment, in the dark abyss called despair, a light suddenly appeared. Illuminating people in the dark, this light is called hope. Now that the sky is falling on Fishman Island, one person stood up. One-handed, up to the sky. Up to the sky, standing on the ground. Like a god, close to the dust. Oh. At this moment, looking at the heroic figure holding up the sky, the entire Fishman Island is boiling with excitement. Hero. He really is a hero. That human held up the sky, he is the hero of our Fishman Island. Long live the heroic Lord Roland. Lord Roland, thank you so much. All over Fishman Island, people cheered one after another, one after another. It's amazing, it's really amazing, Lord Roland. Shirahoshi held his little hand and cried out in excitement. This level is of course, that's Mr. Roland. Yamato Vivi Isho. At this moment, outside Fishman Island, Jinbei, Neptune and the other side of the Sea King army, the new Fishman pirates led by Hottie Jones, and the initiator of Nose Deck, Fanda Decken Ix, watched Noah gradually suppress with emotion. Everyone in the Neptune royal army looked at Noah with split eyes, rushing back like crazy. The wives, children and relatives on the island that is about to be crushed, they do not want to be separated forever. Ha 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 ha, little ones, are you ready? The capture of Fishman Island is just today, and from now on, it's the turn of these comfortable people to go to that dark place. Hottie Jones said with a laugh. Matsumi, how about this masterpiece? No one should try to escape, the destruction of Fishman Island is just today. On Nose Deck, Vanda Decken shouted excitedly. Boom! Just at this moment, the crashing sound like the collision of giant objects resounded in this seabed. The driven shock wave caused the seawater to turn up a layer of white waves. When everything was calm, people outside the island were horrified to find that Noah had miraculously stopped and did not fall again. From their angle, they couldn't see Luo Lin who was facing the bow of the boat at this time. What happened? Noah stopped. After a brief period of astonishment, the people of the Sea King's army burst into cheers. The three princes of Neptune and Shark were also full of excitement. Now on Fishman Island, there's nothing wrong with doing this, but the man. Hexia Jinbei said with certainty. Roran, thank you, really thank you. Neptune's eyes were closed, tears were already streaming down his face, and he was happy and weeping for the Fishman Island that survived the disaster. Mr. Roland, you are also the hero of our Fishman Island. Following King Neptune, the three brothers, Shark Star, King Star, and Rollover Star, Jinbei, left and right, ministers and all the Neptune soldiers bowed in unison in the direction of Nosebow. Although they can't see it, they know it. In that place, a heroic figure held up the sky. Hey, Neptune, Jinbei, who are you bowing to answer me? What the hell is going on? At this time, the members of the new Fishman pirates led by Hottie Jones on Fishman Street were all uneasy in their hearts, and their eyes widened. Who stopped suddenly? He was puzzled. How could someone hold up Noah? That's Noah. Even if they take 1,000 pills, 10,000 pills, they definitely can't have such power. Hey, Matsumi, what the hell is going on? Now even if I remove my ability, Noah should fall. Vanda Decken on Nose Deck screamed. Just as his voice fell, The Ark Noah shook, and then moved again. "Captain Deacon, the ship is moving again." The bald sea monster Matsumi exclaimed. "Oh, just move it again. It seems that there was a slight malfunction just now, but it's okay, everything is business as usual." Vanda Decken looked up to the sky and laughed. No, Captain Deacon, look, the ship is moving, but it seems to be rising." The bald sea monster gave a hellish look. "Vanda Decken. How is this possible? It's just that no matter how much Van Daken doesn't believe it, it can't change the fact that Luo Lin is carrying the Ark Noah at the moment." The nearly burst bubble film that was originally oppressed by Noah Ark gradually recovered. In the end, even the chains on Noah left Fishman Island one by one. Until this moment, Hody Jones' new Fishman pirate group finally saw the figure walking with Noah on his back, like a god. Humans are human beings, just a human being, how can there be such a great power? This is impossible. ... Chapter 663 Shock. Miraculous existence. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. Humans are human beings, but they are just a mere human being. How can there be such a powerful force? How can it happen? Hody Jones let out a near-collapse roar. Looking at Luo Lin's godlike posture, his spirit was greatly stimulated beyond measure. He snatched the bag of murderous medicine that he was holding next to him, and poured it into his mouth recklessly. "Captain Hody, don't eat any more, you'll really die." A fishman pirate cried anxiously. "Get in the way, get out of here." Hody threw a random punch. Like a watermelon bursting, Hody's fist easily penetrated the fishman pirate's head as if it was hit on tofu. Hody raised his head and let out a roar like a beast, and his whole body swelled more than once again. After a long time, the corners of Hody's mouth grinned open, feeling the power surging in his body, his confidence surged. Ha, now I am invincible." Hody Jones shouted arrogantly. While strengthening his body, the fierce medicine also strengthened his ego, which made him selectively forget the peerless power that Luo Lin was walking with Noah on his back. In the sky, Roland held the Ark Noah with one hand and climbed up to the sky step by step. Steady pace. Not the slightest shake. Finally, the bow of Noah's Ark was completely sent off Fishman Island by Roland for coating. At the same time, Roland kept walking. Step out. Unprepared to enter the 10,000-meter deep-sea range. "Matsumi, let's go." Nose deck of the Ark, Van Dyken IX's eyes widened in horror, panicking for no reason. "Although I don't know what happened, I can't see the shocking feat of Luo Lin directly under Noah's Ark. But the abnormal unfolding at the moment, the oppressive feeling in the dark, made him almost breathless. Now that you're here, where do you want to go?" Just when Vanda Decken was about to retreat and was about to escape, an ethereal voice suddenly exploded in his ears, causing the expression of Vanda Decken X to change instantly. Don't wait for him to make the slightest move. Next moment, the unparalleled horrific weight of boom descends. That's Roland's territory. The realm of the tyrant. Under the pressure of Luo Lin's territorial power, Van Dyken X collapsed on the deck without any resistance. Body, not even a finger or a muscle can't move. Who is who? Vanda Decken's eyes popped out, as if to pop out of their sockets. From the body and the soul made his brain tremble, and his body was close to the brink of collapse, but he always maintained an ingenious balance. This is naturally the result of Roland's deliberate control. 4. This lolicon perverted fishman bastard who has coveted his disciple for 8 years, of course he can't just send him on the road. Dimly lit deep-sea Fishman Street. The Sea King's army led by King Neptune and Hody Jones' new Fishman pirates were separated by a distance of several hundred meters. Tit for tat, but not as bloody as before. Because at this moment, in front of their eyes, a miracle is happening. Even if he came to the deep sea unprepared, Luo Lin's footsteps still did not lag in the slightest. Still in a hurry, he walked towards Fishman Street step by step. In the end, in the eyes of the fish-man, who were either shocked or excited, or horrified and fearful, the Ark Noah was dropped and returned to its original position. A big earthquake occurred again on the seabed of Boom Rumble. That person. What the hell is going on with that person? The new Fishman pirate leader, Toth, shouted in surprise. He's Fishman, no no no, how could there be such a level of powerhouse hidden on Fishman Island? Shark Fishman Kadri Gao is no longer calm. Then it's not that we got it wrong, he is really human. The king squid Fishman Kadri Icarus screamed. But, if it's really human, how can it be possible? This is a 10,000-meter deep sea. How can ordinary humans move in the deep sea without any defense? This is unreasonable. Yes, how can human beings move freely in the deep sea? Deep sea is our home. New Fishman Pirates was shocked and screamed in horror. In fact, it's not just Hody Jones' New Fishman Pirates. For the series of miracles that happened to Roland, everyone in Neptune's Sea King army was also shocked to the point of incomparable. Unbelievable. Lord Father, what the hell is going on? Mr. Roland is too powerful. It's just foul. Red overturned. The second Prince Longxing and the third Prince Roverstar screamed in shock. Is this the man of miracles that my mother called me? The great Prince Shark murmured. It broke the iron rule of the devil fruit again, the legendary hero. How powerful is this? Shichibukai Jinbei, who had witnessed the whole process of the big event with his own eyes, was once again shocked by the miracle in front of him, and his face was full of incredible. This is Roland. Ogahime, have you seen our Fishman Island hero? Is back. Chapter 664 The Shocking New Fishman Pirates. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. 10,000 meters deep sea Fishman Street. Submarine plate quakes. The dark tide of terror surged. The shock ripples visible to the naked eye scattered, causing the entire Fishman Street to sway. A long time. The shock brought by Noah calmed down. The deep sea battlefield is still dead silent. Whether it's Neptune's Sea King army or the new Fishman Pirates led by Hody Jones. In front of Noah without blinking, and the emotion called shock occupied their whole hearts. Father King, brothers and sisters. In the dark deep sea, there was a coquettish cry of an anxious girl, breaking the dead silence of the scene. Shirahoshi. Neptune's eyes narrowed. Why are you here, Shirahoshi? Xiaoxing and other three princes were also surprised. After a while, he patted his head again and reacted. Since Roland has already appeared here, it is no surprise that Shirahoshi also came along. Jaga, isn't that a mermaid princess? The bones of a princess with tender flesh must also have a special taste. Dharma, the leader of the new Fishman Pirates, kept his saliva, and in the blink of an eye, he dived into the solid seafloor and walked under the ground like a gopher. Looking at the approaching underground passage on the bottom of the sea, Makaro the shark twisted uncomfortably, instinctively aware that the crisis was approaching. Don't be afraid, little shark. Yamato spoke calmly and confidently, and pulled out the mace attached to his waist. Kaka, the dark sea floor cracked. A terrifying frog with an iron mouth opened, biting towards the Shirahoshi on Mekaro's back like a cannonball. The blood-red eyes were full of madness and cruelty. Shirahoshi. Neptune, Prince Shark and others all shouted anxiously. Mr. Frog, please don't. Seeing the threatening Bodhidharma, Shirahoshi closed his eyes wincingly, tears flashing from the corners of his eyes. Gaga, I succeeded, the mermaid. However, just in the slanting stab of the frog, fishman who thought he had succeeded, a large hand suddenly pinched his neck. Result, the figure of frog, Bodhidharma suddenly solidified. Damn, who are you? Let me go. Dharma struggled violently. However, the sudden big hand was like the strongest iron pliers in the world, and it didn't move at all. Oh, Mr. Rollins, just leave it to me. Yamato, who swung his mace in the air, couldn't help complaining. Ha ha ha, Sorry. Roland smiled casually. Damn, how dare you treat this uncle like this, let's see if I won't break your hand. Fishman Bodhidharma let out a roar, lowered his head sharply, opened his sharp teeth, and bit into the sturdy hand like a vice. Damn, Bodhidharma's proud teeth that can bite off anything, finally met his opponent at this moment. The hardness of that hand was beyond the limit of his imagination, causing his teeth to gnaw for a while, almost breaking. On the other hand, Roland's right hand was completely intact. This unexpected situation made Bodhidharma, who was crazy under the effect of the fierce medicine, calm down a little. Damn, who are you? Dharma screamed. Just because of you. The frog who sits in the well and looks at the sky also delusionally wants to be on an equal footing with the strong men on the sea. Rollins sneered. You are. Bodhidharma suddenly widened his eyes, and finally remembered the identity of this man who made him tremble unconsciously. However, before he could cry out, the strength of Roland's hand vivi increased. Only a crisp sound of click was heard, the eyes of frog Bodhidharma were scattered, and his neck was completely broken. It fell weakly like a rag to the ruins of Fishman Street, causing a dull splash of water. Who the hell are you? Hody Jones drank uncomfortably. King Neptune, Shark Star, Princess Shirahoshi has Mr. Roland there, you don't have to worry too much. Jinbei comforted. I know. Neptune, Shark Star and others all nodded. Fishman pirates who were already in chaos not far away. Hody Jones, what happened 8 years ago, let's end it today. Neptune snorted coldly. Ha, Neptune, do you really think you can win? With that inexplicable human being, this deep sea is my territory. Hody Jones, who was on the verge of collapse, laughed wildly. Woo, is it? Just as Hody Jones's voice fell, a faint sarcastic sound suddenly exploded in his ears. At the same time, the new Fishman pirates only felt their eyes flicker, and the sea rippling. Next second, the vague figure that was originally hundreds of meters away had already appeared in front of them. This man is. How is it possible? Why does this man appear here? You are. That monster human. Hody Jones' pupils shrank suddenly, and the image of the person he saw coincided with the portrait on the newspaper news. At this moment, after recognizing Roland's identity, the entire new Fishman pirate group is trembling with fear. Chapter 665 Smash the Darkness of Fishman Island. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. In the deep sea of 10,000 meters, there are only a few bright spots. Render this deep sea a layer of hazy dull colors. In an instant, the light and shadow changed, and the sea surged. The new Fishman pirates only felt their eyes flicker. Next second, hundreds of meters away, the vague figure of the cadre who killed them casually had already arrived in front of them. Seen clearly by their eyes. No doubt that the tall man who appeared in front of them was indeed a real human being. Miracle human who can move freely in the water like their fishman. With further observation. When seeing Roland's highly recognizable face, the Fishman pirates in the field invariably felt an inexplicable familiar feeling in their minds. After a while, they realized the source of that familiarity. They recognized the identity of the miracle human in front of them. That person, this human isn't that person in the newspaper. A fishman from the new fish. Man pirate's eyes widened and he cried out involuntarily. It can't be wrong, it's really that monster. Why did he appear? We're finished. Another Fishman pirate's pupils shrank suddenly and screamed in despair. The strongest man in the world. Why does such an existence appear here? We are doomed to be the enemy of such an existence. He is a legendary hero who is above the Emperor of the Sea. ... For a time, because of Roland's appearance, the entire new Fishman pirate group was shocked at this moment. All the false morale that I had gained from the stimulation of the murderous drug was dissipated. All of them are downcast, their hands and feet are cold, and they have no intention to fight. Kaka, violent chewing sounded. From Hody Jones. Captain Hody. Watching Hody Jones gulp down the murderous drug again. Everyone in the new Fish Man pirates turned back and forth. There was only Hody Jones left in the place, still burying his head and eating the murderous medicine at the cost of overdrafting his life. It's not enough, I'm still strong. Hody Jones murmured as if lost. Believing that Fish Man is the strongest in the water, at this moment, facing Luo Lin, a strong human being, all he can feel is the darkness and the deep abyss of despair. He is not reconciled. Hody raised his head and let out a roar like a beast, and his whole body swelled more than once again. After a long time, the corners of Hody's mouth grinned, feeling the power surging in his body, and his self-confidence surged. Ha 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 ha, now I am invincible. Hody Jones shouted arrogantly. While the fierce medicine strengthened his body, it also strengthened his ego. Ha 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 ha, the strongest human being, it's really good. The sea is the home ground of our Fish Man. Even if you are a dragon here, you have to give it to me. Hody Jones laughed arrogantly. Fixing you here today will be the first step for our new Fish Man pirates to dominate the world. Hee hee. Roland's mouth Vivi raised a sarcastic arc. Others, Jinbei, Neptune, Shark Prince and even the new Fish Man pirates themselves, also showed absurd expressions. Looking at Hody Jones's eyes, it is like a clown singing a one-man show on the stage. Go to hell, Shui Shin Kyun Shark. Hody Jones, who was in a state of extreme excitement under the stimulation of the ferocious drug, waved his hands violently. Countless ferocious sharks constructed from seawater devoured Luo Lin from all directions. Wow, there was a strange wave in the seawater. Those sharks constructed from seawater, before they could even touch Roland, were smashed silently. Under the influence of that terrifying aura that penetrated the soul, Hody Jones returned to his sanity that had been lost because of the poison. Odahime is my sister. Roland spoke softly. Hody Jones' eyes widened, and he finally couldn't help screaming in horror. However, it was too late. A bright light suddenly lit up in the deep sea. The next moment, Hody Jones' hideous body disintegrated. From foot to head, it melts little by little in the deep sea. This scene is extremely terrifying. All the Fishman present looked at Roland in awe. From start to finish, Roland didn't even move a finger. Who was strengthened to the extreme by the murderous medicine and was comparable to Jinbei, died. The gap in strength is so big that it can be called a natural moat. In the moment of the insurmountable gap, in their senses, Luo Lin is no longer a human being, but a god, a real god. Chapter 666 _ It's all over. A visitor from the deep sea. Open black lens bracket for subscription close black lens bracket. 10,000 meters deep sea, Fishman Street battlefield. With the appearance of Roland and the demise of the leader Hody Jones. The rebels, the new Fishman pirates, no longer have the will to resist. There is no doubt about the final result. The new Fishman pirates have been arrested. After that, execution or life imprisonment is not within Luo Lin's thinking. Beginning to the end, Luo Lin's goal was only two people. One is Hody Jones, who killed Odahime 8 years ago. Other is Vanda Decken, who has been entangled with Shirahoshi for 8 years. At this moment, the ship of the promise, the Ark of Noah. Hoo. Rapid, violent, heavy breathing resembling a broken bellows echoed on the dead deck. Not long ago, with Roland's distance, Van Dakent IX was finally freed from the double death oppression of body and soul. However, he was not at all relieved. Of the person who suppressed him out of thin air and couldn't move at all, and even sent Noah, the ark he started, back to its original position. Hero Luo Lin, the legendary marine hero, in recent months, the most famous existence above the sea, the world's strongest who defeated the Sea Emperor Alliance with one person. Such a big man came to them Fishman Island. He even hit the muzzle of his gun so unfortunately. How unfortunate this is. Fortunately, there is still someone who can dance better than him today. Cody Jones, thank you very much. If you didn't attract the attention of that monster, I would really be dead today. Your death still has some effect, hee hee hee. Vanda Decken let out a low laugh. Then, it's time for me to leave. If that hero remembers me, I really can't leave. Vanda Decken whispered softly and stood up forcibly. Myeonjin Si, let's go. Vanda Decken greeted him and walked on. But the next second, Vanda Decken sensed something was wrong. He lost control of his body. Ah, my body. Vanda Decken's face suddenly paled. The upper body involuntarily falls forward. Captain Decken, your body. The bald sea monster Myeonjin saw a frightened cry. It was only at this moment that Vanda Decken finally realized that his body had been disconnected at some point. Starting from the waist, the wound was as smooth as mirror blood, and his intestines were scattered all over the place. What the asterisk is this? Van Decken's pupils gradually blurred, not waiting. When he finished speaking, he stopped abruptly and completely cut off his voice. The fine lines of Kai light up from the surface of his body. The blink of an eye, it was turned into countless small fragments, and submerged into the depths of the sea with the current. At the same time, Fishman Street. Your Majesty, Mr. Tyrolean's blessing, the custody of Cody Jones' chaos party has been basically completed. The blood-stained minister of the right hippocampus came to report with excitement, and his eyes were full of believer-like fanaticism when he looked at Luo Lin. Mr. Roland is a well-deserved hero. Of the left of the catfish, who has always been harsh, is also sighing again and again at this moment. Mr. Roland, it's really thanks to you this time. Jinbei saluted sincerely. Mr. Roland is mighty, Doraemon. Hero Mr. Roland Hockey, Red Rollover. The Dragon Star and the Overturning Star dance hand in hand. Lord Roland, you are so handsome. Shirahoshi whispered softly. A pair of big watery eyes stared at Luo Lin without blinking, and there was a lot of brilliance in them. That's it. Yamato echoed with a smile on the side. Obahime is right, Roland, you are the future of our Fish-Man Island. Neptune murmured softly. Father King. The voice of the great Prince Shark sounded. Shark, what's the matter? Neptune asked. Father, we found the bald sea monster Matsumi on Noah just now. The reason for Noah's sudden activation has probably been determined. Shark Star spoke solemnly. Could it be that? Vanda Decken bastard again. Long Xing raised his eyebrows. It's not good either, it must not be allowed, he escapes again. The three princes overturned Star anxiously said. Well, Shark Star, Dragon Star, Rollover Star, the three of you are right now. First to carry out a carpet search, be sure to arrest Vanda Decken and bring peace to Fish-Man Island. Neptune waved his hand and ordered. King Neptune, if this old man wants to come, it shouldn't be necessary. Jinbei spoke. Jinbei. Boss Jinbei. Neptune and others were all puzzled. That Noah was sent back by Mr. Roland. Jinbei reminded politely. Neptune and the others were stunned for a moment, then patted their heads in unison, and finally came to their senses. Indeed, that's Mr. Roland. Vanda Decken or something has been dealt with a long time ago. Shirahoshi is finally free. Xiaoxing and others all showed relaxed smiles. Really, Roland, tell me earlier. Neptune complained. You didn't ask. Roland said calmly. Neptune. By the way, Roland, what are you looking at over there? Neptune followed Roland's gaze, and all he saw was the dark deep sea. Father, sir, what is there? What is coming over? Shirahoshi spoke weakly. Chapter 667 Thousands of Sea Kings are coming. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. Roland, is there anything over there? Sensing the direction of Roland's gaze, Neptune asked inexplicably. Subconsciously, he followed Luo Lin's line of sight, but what he saw was only a dark deep sea. King Neptune, What's wrong? Jinbei also asked. What's the matter? Is there anything special about that direction? The second Prince Longxing and the third Prince Roverstar were also attracted, and curiously probed their brains. Mr. Roland, what are you looking at? Yamato sat on the head of the shark Mekaro and approached slowly. Yeah. At this moment, Shirahoshi, who was also on the back of the little shark, suddenly let out a nervous coquettish cry. What's wrong, Shirahoshi? Yamato, Shaoxing and others spoke up one after another. Over there, Lord Father, brothers and sisters, there seems to be something about to appear over there. Shirahoshi pointed to the deep sea where he could not see his fingers, and opened his mouth weakly. Crash la la, just as Shirahoshi's voice fell, a huge wave suddenly appeared in the deep sea. The seawater ripples visible to the naked eye quickly swept across from far to near, bringing up a turbulent ocean current. Under the impact of the tide, the unsuspecting Neptune's army stumbled. Even a master like Jinbei, Neptune, is unconsciously going backwards. Everyone on alert. Neptune, who stabilized his body, drank an order. But the next second, Neptune knew the helpless fact that no matter how defensive he was, his vigilance would be futile. Compared to those gigantic creatures that emerged one by one from the deep sea, their power is simply too small. If it is right, the whole army will be wiped out in an instant. Sea King class. No, it's a super large Sea King. Today is the second time. And this number is really exaggerated. Why are there so many super large Sea Kings appearing together? When they saw the giant creatures with a size of more than 5,000 meters, the soldiers of Fishman Island's most elite troops panicked. Feelings of fear all the way from the inside out. Father King. This. The brave and skilled king of the Dragon Palace was also frightened by the sudden arrival of the super-large Sea King, Heaven Group, and even his words were not easy to say. Don't panic, it's alright, definitely. Neptune took a deep breath and shouted to soothe everyone's emotions. It's just the tremolo between his words that shows that his heart is not without waves. Rolo, Mr. Roland, is this what you called over? Yamato widened her beautiful eyes and asked nervously. No. Roland said calmly. Yamato was stunned for a while. Wasn't because of Roland's summons, that's not a big deal. But, with Mr. Roland there, probably, maybe, it should be fine. Think here. Yamato's throbbing little heart finally settled down a little. Crash la la, the sea surged. A white dragon, which is not too long, brushed the side of Yamato and the shark Mekaro. I was shocked and got goosebumps involuntarily. As for the little shark Mekaro, he was even more motionless, completely frozen in fear. 10,000 meters deep in the sea, it was dead silent. The arrogant and passing, white dragon, turned a corner and finally revealed its true body. This is a huge sea snake about the size of a small black snake. A 5,000-meter white sea snake. This 5,000-meter level white sea snake is like a representative of other sea kings, with its head held high and a pair of onyx-like eyes staring at Luo Lin without blinking. After a long silence, under the horrified gazes of the Sea King army, the white sea snake opened its bloody mouth. There are special ripples in the sea water. That was the white sea snake talking. It's just that only Luo Lin and Shirahoshi can understand the language of the Sea King. As expected, I still can't accept that the owner of the power of the Sea King, in addition to Princess, there are other people, and it is a human man. It is ridiculous. The white sea snake sent out an idea. Hee. The corner of Luo Lin's mouth raised a slight arc. If you don't agree, feel free to try it, and I'll accompany you at any time. Roland smiled and invited. Mr. Roland, who are you talking to? Not far away, Yamato widened his beautiful eyes and asked inexplicably. Sister Da, can't you hear that Lord Luo Lin is talking to Sister White Snake? Shirahoshi said. What? Yamato was shocked again. Next second, the sea surged again. This time, a pitch-black dragon, passed around her. Little Black. This time, Yamato didn't panic, because she recognized the identity of Lai Snake. It was the 5,000-meter black snake that had carried her several times. Chapter 668 King and Queen. Haki shocks all beasts. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. Little Black. Hearing Yamato's name for the huge black snake similar in size to the white sea snake, Shirahoshi couldn't help but be taken aback. Big sister, do you know it? Shirahoshi asked in confusion. Yamato nodded subconsciously. At the same time. Yes, Princess, I'm Xiaohei, please give me more advice in the future. The 5-kilometer black snake waved its tail excitedly and greeted Shirahoshi. Wow! Hearing the little black snake's sudden greeting, Shirahoshi's delicate body suddenly trembled. Ah, now we have to deal with that first. The little black snake muttered to himself. The long and narrow flat head suddenly dashed forward, blocking the middle between Luolin and the white sea snake. Then he raised his head, arched the body of the white sea snake and stepped back. What are you doing, idiot Black? The white sea snake reprimanded angrily. I'm saving you, bye. The little black snake said of course. Ha ha. The white sea snake dragged out the end of doubt like a proud girl. Because if you step back a little bit, you will be really miserable, Shiro, and you will be beaten and cry. The little black snake said seriously. What did you say? I was beaten and cried? A set of arrogant and self-confident trio of white sea snakes. Roar. Roland narrowed Vivi's eyes, and the curvature of the corners of his mouth widened a little. Boom. Next second. Even more violent than the waves, the turbulent extreme conqueror Haki burst and swept across all directions in an instant. Boom. Resounded in the minds of every Neptune in the field like Huangzhang Dalu's beating sound, causing shock and horror to appear on the faces of all Neptunes. His muscles were tense, and he stood still, motionless. The representative white sea snake is the first to charge. Impact of Luolin's Haki, who seemed to represent the sea. His brain was buzzing for a while, and he couldn't recover for a long time. Look, Xiaobai, I said long ago that Lord Luolin is not an ordinary human being, he is the strongest person in the world. The little black snake sighed. Also, although I don't know where Lord Luolin's Sea King power comes from, now is not the time to struggle with this. Look over there, Princess. Our Lady Princess has been waiting for a long time, everyone is here too. Waiting to greet the princess. Xiaohei persuaded bitterly. In that case, let's do as you say, but don't get me wrong, I will never admit a human man as our king. The white sea snake used his last arrogance to emphasize. Hey, it's fine this way, then everyone, come and say okay to the princess. The little black snake greeted. They've been waiting for a long time. The super-large Neptune with black and white stripes like zebras responded. I can't wait. The 5,000-meter deep-sea frog rubs its palms. Are you going to have dinner? The stupid purple-haired penguin stepped forward stupidly. Immediately after that, there were special creatures with 100-meter fangs and scales like peacock feathers, huge flatfish with a radius of 1,000 meters. A full 13 5,000-meter level overlord level sea kings moved in unison. Behind them there are more big and small, the sea kings follow. In an instant, the sea seemed to boil. Looking at this riot-like scene, everyone in Yamato and the Sea King's army couldn't help but change their expressions. Shirahoshi also folded his arms, with a hint of fear on his face. However, the next moment, the trace of fear on Shirahoshi's face turned into confusion and confusion. Because the Sea Kings have spoken collectively. The princess. The mermaid princess. Finally see you again, princess. It's been 800 years. We have always kept our promise with you. The sea kings opened their mouths in the abyss to express their joy. Ah! Shirahoshi tilted his head blankly, his face full of cuteness and confusion. Come on, Shirahoshi, and say hello to your people. Roland smiled and extended his right hand to Shirahoshi, inviting him. Although I don't quite understand the current situation, since it is Lord Roland's invitation, then there is no reason to refuse it. Shirahoshi nodded firmly. The beautiful fishtail waved gently, jumped up from the shark Macaro's back, and put his fingers on Roland's palm. Let's go. Roland grinned Isho. Take Shirahoshi to the center of the Sea Kings step by step. The waves of the sea were silent. Next moment. In the shock of people's eyes, all the super-large Sea Kings bowed their heads in unison, surrendering to their king and queen. Chapter 669 Fishman Island Demolition Plan. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. Thousands of Sea Kings are coming to court. Declare surrender to the king and queen, in this deep sea. This scene can no longer be simply described with the word shock. Unbelievable, those Sea Kings are so docile. Is this also the power of the hero Roland? Even the Sea Kings can be tamed, he really deserves to be a hero. ... Everyone in the Sea King's army screamed in surprise. This is the legendary ancient weapon Sea King Poseidon. No, is it the power of the mermaid princess Shirahoshi? It's really spectacular. This power can really subvert the world. Yamato's pretty face was sluggish, and he was already shocked to the point of incomprehensible what he saw in front of him. Neptune and others also knew the reason. Father, is this Shirahoshi's power? Shark Prince looks shocked. Awesome, the legendary mermaid princess is our sister. Doremi. Long Xing murmured unconsciously. It's not just Shirahoshi. King Neptune sighed softly. I know, this is also your power, Luo Lin. At one time, neither I nor Otohi wanted Shirahoshi's power to awaken, but your words. If it is Luo Lin, it must be no problem. Shirahoshi I can't be more at ease with your care. Neptune nodded in relief. All the Sea Kings are Shirahoshi's friends. Red rollover. The three princes shouted with joy, dancing and dancing. The next second, he was covered by his brother Sharksing's big hand. Shark Star, the order goes on, everything that happened today can't be spread. Neptune ordered solemnly. Yes, father. Shark nodded. The rare sight of Sea Kings in 800 years lasted about 5 minutes. Following Shirahoshi's order, the Sea Kings gathered from all over the sea, dispersed to the 4 directions and returned to their respective homes. Princess. Princess, then let's go too. If you need it next time, please call us at any time. It doesn't matter. In any corner of the world, as long as the princess calls, we will always be there. White sea snakes, deep sea frogs, purple-haired penguins and other 13 5,000-meter Overlord-class Sea Kings said their final goodbyes. Well, everyone, goodbye. Shirahoshi bowed and watched the last of the super-large Sea Kings leave, disappearing into the pitch-black depths. Are you afraid? Roland asked. Don't be afraid. For the first time in his life, Shirahoshi shook his head decisively, and answered neatly without the slightest hesitation. What a good boy. Roland Vivi Isho. Go back. Roland patted Shirahoshi's head with a big hand. Shirahoshi squinted his eyes comfortably and nodded obediently. Roland. Neptune arrives on the little whale Hoai. What's wrong? I am sorry, Luo Lin, I'm afraid the banquet will have to be another day. Next, I'm going to take the children to the sea forest to see Otoji. Neptune apologized. Sea forest, let's go and have a look too. Roland rode. Well, if Yuji knew that Luo Lin, you went to see her, she would be happy. Neptune rode. 3 minutes later. The Sea King's army is divided into 2 groups. Part of it is responsible for imprisoning the remnants of the new Fishman pirates and handling the aftermath of Fishman Street. Other Team followed King Neptune to the northeastern part of Fishman Island, the forest of the sea. After a quarter of an hour, Sea Forest has arrived. Roland sat on the head of the shark Mekaro and followed Neptune to the royal cemetery in the Sea Forest. Finally, he stood in front of Otahime's tomb. The whole place was quiet. Neptune, the three sharks and Princess Shirahoshi all observed a moment of silence. "Sorry, little girl Otoji." Looking at Otoji's voice and smile on the tombstone, Luo Lin couldn't help but remain silent. In the past, he always thought about changing all the tragedies by his own strength and his ability to predict the plot. However, the result was that nothing could be changed. But at least in the future life, there can be no more regrets. "Otahime, don't worry, this Fishman Island will see the real sunshine," Luo Lin solemnly assured in his heart. A few months ago, Luo Lin led the demolition plan of Sky Island at a height of 10,000 meters. Now, once again, what is the difficulty of the demolition plan of Fishman Island in the 10,000-meter deep sea? It is time to put it on the agenda. Chapter 670 Red Road Sign. Where this article is going. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. Northeast of Fishman Island, Sea Forest. The warm sunshine is transmitted through the sun tree Eve, and it shines in this underwater forest without loss, which is extraordinarily bright and warm. Perhaps it is because it is the closest to Yangshu Eve and receives the strongest sunlight, so that a forest-like scenery is formed here. Various underwater plants and magnificent corals thrive, making this place a gorgeous place. There are also countless schools of fish and whales living leisurely here, foraging for food, just like a dream. In the east of the forest, in front of the tomb of Princess Otoji, Neptune, with his 4 children, mourned and prayed silently. "Ouiji, have you seen your hero in the spirit of the sky? Your brother Luo Lin has returned. And as you said, our Fishman Island is about to take a historic step, and the transformation has begun." The expression on Neptune's old face gradually became excited and excited. "Lord Mother, I am sorry. I didn't fully abide by the agreement with Mother." Shirahoshi murmured softly, and a trace of disappointment appeared on his delicate little face. After a while, it was back to splendor again. "The sun today is really bright, like the ground. Is this because of Lord Luo Lin? You once said that Lord Luo Lin is like the sun, is this true?" Shirahoshi's pretty face raised a bright smile, brighter than the sun in the forest of the sea. As expected of Mr. Roland. Not far away, Yamato, who quietly listened to Shirahoshi's whisper, poked Luo Lin's shoulder. "Brilliant Isho." Roland grinned. Although he has long been used to hearing praises from others, at this moment Neptune, Shirahoshi, and his nephew Shaoxing, one after another, touting his words to the late Otahime, Luo Lin is a rare embarrassment. He simply turned around silently and walked towards the depths of the sea forest. Aware of Roland's departure, Yamato, who has always been inseparable, immediately followed. Mr. Roland, are we going to read the historical text next?" Yamato asked. "Well, come here, let's go have a look." Roland nodded. "Okay." Yamato smiled happily. "Make the way ahead." After about 3 minutes, Luo Lin and Yamato came to the deepest part of the sea forest. "Poke away a dense seaweed." A huge square stone appeared in front of the two of them. It was one of the 2 historical papers held by Fishman Island. A document of apology for a man of a certain boy 800 years ago. Mr. Roland, I know the article on this stele." Yamato's eyes lit up. As if a child was eager to show himself to his parents, he hurriedly opened his mouth. "What is recorded on this is an apology letter from a man named Joey Boy to the mermaid princess at that time, and also, that Joey Boy has been resurrected in this era. Guess who he is now?" Yamato, Isho, deliberately sold it off. Immediately after waiting, Luo Lin asked back, and he revealed the answer on his own. The Joey Boy of this era is that, the Straw Hat Luffy, How can I be surprised or not? Yamato looked expectant. It's actually Luffy, what a surprise. Roland VV Isho cooperated with Yamato and made an unexpected expression. It's just that the acting is a little too exaggerated. Hey, what is it? It turns out that Mr. Roland already knew about it. Yamato's uninterested kick. On the gravel underfoot. Hee. Roland Hee Isho, walking on foot. Just wave it. The large seagrass plants in front of him just dissipated. A square pit appeared, indicating that there was once a square thing here. This should be another piece of historical text that Fishman Island used to hold, the location of the red road sign stone, which was still there more than 20 years ago, and where is it now? Yamato tilted his head in confusion. Let's ask Neptune that question later. Roland rode. Sure enough, I knew Luo Lin, you came here. Say Neptune, and Neptune will be there. Just as Roland's voice fell, Neptune appeared with Shirahoshi. It's such a beautiful forest, no matter how many times you look at it, you won't get tired of it. Lapse of 8 years, Shirahoshi looked around like a curious baby and sighed again and again. Shirahoshi, you are here. Yamato stepped forward with joy. Sister Yamato. Shirahoshi is also happy to respond. Shirahoshi, the scenery of the forest of the sea is not bad, but the forest on the ground is so beautiful and magical. Yamato exclaimed. Really, big sister, tell me quickly. Shirahoshi, who turned into a curious baby, kept asking questions. Cough, since Sister Shirahoshi said it, how can I refuse? Immediately, Yamato told Shirahoshi about the magical islands he had seen from Odin's logbook. Vivid, as if she had been there herself. The other side. Looking at his daughter, who was very happy with Yamato, Neptune nodded reassuringly. He turned to Roland's side. That Roland cleaned up, the expression on Neptune's face couldn't help but stagnate. Roran, are you counting the whereabouts of this red road sign? ... Chapter 671 Fishman Island is merged into the territory of Watchung. Open black lens bracket for subscription close black lens bracket. Red-haired, Shanks. It's really not easy to be a kid that Roger likes. Roland said with emotion. Roland, this. Neptune wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Roland raising his hand. Needless to say, we will meet in the near future. Roland waved his hand. Immediately, he raised his head and looked at Neptune seriously. What's wrong? Neptune's expression stiffened. Neptune, I promised earlier that I would fulfill Odahime's last wish and let Fishman Island go to the ground. Roland spoke earnestly. This matter, don't worry, I've been waiting for so long, and I don't care about it for a while. Luo Lin, you still have more important things to do. Neptune waved his hand. Indeed, wanting to completely eliminate the contradiction and estrangement between your Fishman clan and human beings will not happen overnight. If you migrate to the ground, all kinds of attacks will probably follow. Roland rode. Yes, only this deep sea is our shelter. Neptune smiled wryly. Neptune, if I say that there is an absolutely undisturbed pure land above that ground, would you Fishman Island be willing to move? Roland spoke up. Roland, where you said. Could it be? Realizing the meaning of Roland's words, Neptune suddenly widened his eyes and his expression shook. The long-standing gap between races can only be reduced with time, and even I can't do anything about it, but at least. Luo Lin's open palm slowly clenched into a fist, and his whole body exuded a strong self-confidence, full of hockey. Under my protection, no one can touch you. So come to Waisung, Neptune. Roland grinned Isho and extended an invitation to Neptune. Call. Neptune's eyes widened, his breathing gradually heavy. Listening to Roland's invitation, and feeling the unspeakable hockey on his body, Neptune only felt that the blood that had cooled in his body for many years was gradually stirring. Long. Who would have thought that this day would come so quickly? The slightest doubt about Roland's promise. He also believed, as long as it is under the protection of Wachung, under the shock of the hero's name, the younger generation above the sea will never dare to commit it. Good. Neptune nodded heavily and should drink. It's just Roland, the population of our Fishman Island is not comparable to that of a large country on land, but it is quite a lot. Will your Wachung not be able to fit? Neptune asked tentatively. What are you thinking about, Neptune? How could I let those cute little mermaid girls live with us? The old men, not to mention young ones, even those old guys can't handle it. Roland raised an eyebrow. Yes, I didn't think much about it, as long as it is enough to give us a foothold around Waisung City. Neptune patted his head. Nipton, this Fishman Island is the foundation established by your Fishman family from generation to generation. You shouldn't want to give it up. Roland asked back. Of course I don't want to, but if I just want to go to the land, I can't help it. Neptune shook his head helplessly. Why not consider relocating the entire Fishman Island? Roland asked with a smile. How is it possible? Neptune was stunned. With me, nothing is impossible. How did you think Gaia Sky Island going came to Alabasta? Roland grinned Isho. This, really, is it really possible? Neptune's emotions gradually became agitated. Ah. Roland nodded. It doesn't matter. In the deep sea, on the ground or in the sky, as long as you want, I can help you arrange it, but before the Fishman Island demolition plan is implemented, you still have to do a lot of preparations. Well, I know. Neptune nodded heavily. Such a big event, even Neptune, who is the king, can't make a decision in one sentence, and needs to advertise it to all the residents of the island and solicit the opinions of the people. In addition, the migration of such a large project is also a major test for the coating protection of Fishman Island, which requires continuous research. Whitebeard flag that now flies over Fishman Island. Whitebeard sheltered them Fishman Island under his own flag for 20 years, and it was reasonable for them to handle it properly. There is so much to do. Neptune muttered to himself. Don't worry, Neptune, the demolition experts on my side still need some time to arrive, so prepare slowly. Roland comforted. Well, thank you so much, Roland. Neptune put his hands on the ground and his forehead hit the ground heavily, expressing his most sincere thanks to the friend in front of him. Chapter 672 Big Incident Reports to Come. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. The life of 10,000 meters in the deep sea is far more comfortable and leisurely than people imagine on land. Especially after the two Fishman Island cancers, Hody Jones and Vanda Deacon, were eliminated, the unstable factors of Fishman Island were gone. Naturally sunny after rain. A bright future awaits Fishman Island. And the person who brought it all to Fishman Island was Roland. Hero Roland, not just a name. Now. 4. The residents of Fishman Island. Roland is also their Fishman Island, the hero of their Fishman clan. The absolute first human hero in the history of Fishman Island. It was unimaginable and unbelievable before. But now it is true. That day, Luo Lin walked on the sky, holding up the sky of Fishman Island with one hand, guarding Fishman Island from nose impact and destroying the figure. That figure, like a god, has been deeply imprinted into the mind of every resident of Man Island. Even the past decades and hundreds of years will never be forgotten. At this moment, Roland has become the #1 star of Fishman Island as a human being. No matter what. Where does it appear? Once recognized, it will inevitably cause a huge sensation. To this, Rollins was helpless. Up the idea of leisurely sightseeing Fishman Island, and turned to discuss with Neptune and others to study the details of the demolition project of the island. At the same time, the sea on the ground is not calm. As the Waisung army crossed the red soil continent with Jerma and arrived at West Blue and North Blue, Waisung's war against the entire underground dark forces has begun. Different from what one would expect. Facing Waisung's attack, each force rarely showed the toughest side. War has only just begun, and it is the most brutal and fierce battle to the death. All kinds of despicable methods emerge one after another. The war started only a few days later. The number of wounded has soared. But fortunately, there was Luo Lin's preparation in advance. There were no major casualties. Over time, the cooperation of Weisung and Marine, the defeat of the Dark Forces is only a matter of time. For the all-out war in the two seas of the West and North. The pattern of the four emperors is out of balance, and the dynamic and static conditions of the sea are also endless. The big pirates occupying one side of the New World are active, and the big and small movements are constant, and bloody wars of turf battles are staged from time to time. Following the Sabayati incident, the world noble Tenryubito was once again punished by justice in the public eye. The kingdom of Dressrosa is smoke everywhere. Wano-kuni, the kingdom of samurai, is gradually entering the eyes of the world. And there is a shocking secret from the dark world. At this moment, the great root Santin Island, Weisung. Sister Shaki, Miss Shaki, the contact from Mr. Roland is here. Alice, the girl in the peaked cap, happily entered the door. Ah, I already know. The office, Shaki stroked his forehead with a slight headache. We're already busy enough here, that guy can just go to Fishman Island to have a good time, and now he has to arrange such a troublesome thing at this juncture. Really, it's too easy to be a shopkeeper. Shaki complained. Don't say that, Sister Shaki, the strength of the Fishman family should not be underestimated. I believe that Mr. Roland must not simply play on Fishman Island. In order to win the trust of the Fishman family, Mr. Roland must do an effort that we could not have imagined. The girl Alice nodded earnestly, and Alice's words changed immediately. And that's Fishman Island, the legendary Mermaid Bay, the Mermaid Cafe and that. It's rumored that the Mermaid Princess is as beautiful as Hancock's sister. I really want to go and see it with everyone. The girl Alice said with a look of longing. Shaki. This girl is helpless. Totally obsessed with that guy. However, the leisure time for now may not last long. Okay, Alice, you can go to Shaki to discuss the Fishman Island. Shaki waved. Yes, Miss Shaki. Alice, the girl in the peaked cap, turned and left happily. I watched the girl Alice walk away. Shaki then pressed the contact phone bug in front of him. The radio signal spans thousands of miles and reaches 10,000 meters in the deep sea. Yo, Shaki, what's the problem? Roland's voice came from the phone bug. The person in charge of the demolition operation on Fishman Island is Shaki. This time I'm here to report to you, the Lord of Weisung. Chapter 673. No one in the world dares to be the enemy. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. 10,000 meters deep sea, Fishman Island. Mermaid Bay, known as the Dreamland. Colorful and magnificent coral reefs can be seen everywhere. The young fish girls who are just at their young age walked through them and cheered. Shirahoshi, a mermaid princess with a peerless beauty, is playing with beauty. This is truly a rare sight in the world. At this moment, there is only one Luo Lin who can enjoy such a beautiful view. Lord Roland. Lord Luo Lin, don't just sit there, you clearly agreed to play together. Today is special, all of us only serve Lord Luo Lin. The graceful mermaid girls with different looks looked eagerly at Luo Lin on the largest coral reef in the middle of the bay. Mr. Roland, this is a rare day off as you said, and it's because of what you said, Mr. Roland, that I specially put on this outfit. Rarely changed out of the large kimono, put on a swimsuit to show his beauty, and looked at Luo Lin with nervousness and anticipation. Lord Roland, Shirahoshi too. Shirahoshi also wants to play with Lord Roland. Shirahoshi crossed his slender hands in front of him and opened his mouth weakly. Ah, right now. Roland gestured towards the crowd. Hey, our lord of the city seems to be a little busy right now. Is my contact at the wrong time? If so, then I will contact you later. It just so happens that I have something to look for, Robin. Vivi and them. Shaki pouted, and there was dissatisfaction in his words. Cough cough. The expression on Luo Lin's face was stagnant, and he coughed twice in embarrassment. I didn't know how to explain it for a while. You can't always say that you came at the right time or not. By the way, Shaki, it's up to you to decide what general thing you want to report, and I trust your judgment. Roland bluntly changed the subject. 4 things. The other end of the phone, Shaki's expression suddenly became serious. The first thing, the war in the West North Blue has begun, and the situation is a little abnormal. Shaki rode. Well, I already know about this matter. There are indeed some abnormalities within the dark forces, but Zephyr and the others must be fine. Roland nodded. The second thing, Rayleigh and the others arrived at Wano-kuni yesterday, and the advance troop of the sub-pirates and some other mice have also arrived, and there will be a battle with Shaki Road. It's really lively, then let Rayleigh and the others make a big fuss. Roland grinned. You are really relaxing. Shaki shook his head. Okay, what about the third thing? Roland rubbed his chin and asked. The third thing is about the little monkeys. Shaki rode. Luffy boys, how about being the special operations team of Waesung? They should have a good reputation for us. Roland asked. Well, Little Monkey and the others have repelled a lot of pirates in the past 2 weeks, and they even shot Tenryubito for civilians. Shaki rode. After a moment of silence. Ha ha ha. Roland couldn't help but burst out laughing. You're still in the mood to laugh. Shaki rolled his eyes. It's just a Tenryubito, it's not a big deal. Roland waved his hands indifferently. Yeah, but it's just wanted by all the staff. The world government seems to be trying to make a big fuss about this. Shaki rode. Let them do what they want, and I'll follow. Roland waved his hand, and Haki agreed. Immediately, the conversation changed and he spoke again. By the way, what's the reaction on Garp's side? It's fortunate, the family's mood is relatively stable, it's just catching the beasts and thorns, and giving them an iron fist of love for a day. Shaki said calmly. Roland. After another moment of silence. Forget it, then, what's the last thing? Roland asked. Finally. Shaki's voice paused. The secret of your immortality has been revealed. Shaki asked quietly. Rollins was silent. The original source may be the Northwest battlefield, but I am more inclined to be the world government. Shaki concluded. Yeah. Roland replied calmly. However, beneath that calm lies a huge turbulence. Although it is still limited to the underground world, I am afraid that in a short time, the secret of your body will be known to the world. As long as you eat your flesh and blood, you will be immortal and immortal. This is even more impressive than Roger's great secret treasure. The temptation of people crazy, this sea is really going to be in chaos, what are your plans? Shaki asked. Those who want to die, let them come, and I will follow. Roland grinned Isho, showing his white teeth. If the whole world is an enemy, then kill until no one dares to be an enemy. Chapter 674 Enemy all over the world. Open black lens bracket. Please customize the full order close black lens bracket. The vast and boundless sea, the undercurrent is turbulent. Every minute and every second, events that are enough to affect the direction of the world happen, pushing this era to run wild. With the West Blue and North Blue battlefields as the source, a shocking secret that can shock the whole world is brewing. Driven by a big hand called the world government. This shocking secret swelled to the limit in the shortest time, and finally, exploded. The wind of explosion swept the world in an instant. Result, the sea was once again shocked and even boiled. The body of immortality is real and fake. Is there really an immortal body in this world, and it's still the hero Mr. Roland? How could this kind of thing be true? It must be a rumor, a rumor. The last guy who claimed to be immortal is already cold, and the grass on the grave is 2 meters high. Yeah, that. Didn't the 4 emperors Kaido of the beasts also claim to have immortality? In the end, it wasn't blown up by our hero Mr. Roland. The mythical thing like the immortal body does not exist at all, it is impossible. ... Similar conversations are taking place all over the world. Of the immortal body of the hero Roland rose to the level of popular discussion in an instant. Since it is a discussion, some people do not believe it, and naturally some people believe it. And thoughts are derived. It's true, the immortal body of the hero Roland. These rumors are not all rumors. I have seen with my own eyes that those people in Waesung used some kind of red liquid to resurrect the dying people. That must be the blood of the hero Luo Lin. ... The government sent civilians of the West Blue, North Blue battlefields vowed to spread the news. And from this, more facts about the past are involved. Marine, S0 casualty miracle in the Battle of Thousand Sails Island. Earlier, in those long decades ago, the miracles created by Vice Admiral Rawlins. The wave of heated discussions is gradually piling up. And it was completely out of control. With the testimony of witnesses, even those who tried their best not to believe in the not-so-personal statement were completely speechless. These people who yearn for heroes do not believe in myths because the facts are too bizarre. No, they just don't dare to believe it, and they don't want to believe it. It is because of longing and worshipping heroes. They don't want to let this happen. Because they know the evil of human nature. In this world, there are things that cannot be seen directly except the sun and the human heart. The human mind has always been the most unpredictable. Human desires are endless. Under the guidance of the huge temptation, the evil of human nature will be triggered to the greatest extent. More than 20 years ago, One Piece King of Pirates Roger opened the era of great pirates with all the treasures in this world. Induced the greed in many people's hearts. Now, the immortal body of the hero Roland. The possibility of immortality and immortality, this is something that is more unbearable than the big secret treasure, and can actually be seen. Who in the world cannot die? Let you be the best in the world, and you will be the pink skeleton in the end. Matter what your generation of arrogance, sitting on thousands of miles of rivers and mountains, in the end, it will eventually turn into a handful of loess. Why do legends about immortality always exist? The fundamental reason is that this is the desire of people's hearts, for the nobles who stand at the top of the world, sit on power and countless treasures, the emperors are striving to pursue. The charm of immortality is so. Therefore, the fruit of the operation that can perform an ageless operation can have a sky-high price of 5 billion berg. Pure gold, that can grow slowly and maintain youth forever is a bloody storm once it appears. Now, another possibility of immortality appeared. The evil of human nature is induced to the greatest extent and blooms everywhere. Damn, if you were really a hero, come over now and give me your flesh and blood to save my family. Somewhere in the world, a family member of a patient shouted with a hideous expression. Hero Luo Lin, come and save us with your flesh and blood. In this way, you are the real hero. The civilians of a town where an infectious disease broke out shouted. Hero Luo Lin, if you were really a hero, please give me a piece of flesh and blood for us to study. This is a study with trans-era significance and great influence. If it can achieve results, medicine will take a big step, please. For the sake of human progress, don't hide your secrets. This is a statement made publicly in the newspapers by some respected medical doctor above the sea. At first glance, there's not much inappropriate. However, upon closer inspection, the only words on it were cannibalism. Following the MD, medical institutes around the world scrambled to issue a statement of righteousness. And it has won the strong appeal and support of many civilians around the world. Heroes are no longer heroes, but experimental subjects on the operating table that are left to be divided by them. Everything is just beginning. Looking at the sea, there is malice everywhere. This is exactly the enemy of the world. Chapter 675 The World is Crazy. Open black lens bracket for subscription close black lens bracket. The sea is changing. Of immortality has just begun. In the face of something more tempting than the big secret treasure, few people can be unaffected. Even the commoners who once had their hearts on heroes were brought to a rhythm. Not to mention the greedy nobles and pirates in the sea. After the Great Waesung incident, the sea, which had been calm for just over a month, once again caused an unimaginable huge storm. The sea, the waves rise again. Minister, hurry up, cough, hurry up and bring back that hero's flesh and blood to make medicine for this king is saved. In a small country of West Blue, the old, terminally ill king's dim old eyes shone with addictive light. To pass on this king's orders, even if I do my best in the whole country, no matter how huge the price is, I must get that. Hero Luo Lin's blood will help this king live forever, and this king will be the king of all ages. An ambitious big country monarch in North Blue issued a notice to the whole country. Ha ha ha, immortality and immortality, this is really irresistible. The order goes on, and now there is a high price reward in the world of darkness. ... What underground black market hero Luo Lin's blood has soared to 100 million Bailey. Hurry up and update the reward, I will give 110 million won. ... What a joke that someone bids 1 billion Bailey to buy a finger of the hero Roland. This kind of behavior that is close to death, at least 10 billion is enough. ... Compared to directly from the hero, it is more likely to succeed from the marine side. There must be a hero's blood stock in the marine side. Use all the connections in our country, for sure. ... On this day, the upper-level rulers of the world are all crazy. Ha 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 ha, the undead hero. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Let this uncle come and try it out. What is the flesh and blood of the hero Luo Lin? Is there any? The magical effect is good. Great Root, a certain pirate with a reward of over 100 million made a big statement. Little ones, ready to go, the flesh and blood of ordinary people has long been tired, and I wonder if the flesh of heroes will have a different taste. Let's try it. Notorious, ogre pirate captain who is known for cannibalism laughs. This is also a great opportunity to make a fortune. Just a drop of blood, a hair is 100 million Bailey. How can there be such a lucrative business in this world? Little ones, get ready to go to that city to play let's go. But Captain, that's a hero that even the Emperor of the Sea killed. Are you sure we're not going to die? Idiot, who said I'm going to provoke the hero? I'm going to seek refuge. As long as I can stay there, there is always a chance to get the hair scattered by the hero Luo Lin. So that's how it is. As expected of the captain. ... Captain, that's marine base over there. The hero Roland's words aren't in the Waesung fortress, right? Are you an idiot? That's a peerless man who killed even the 4th Emperor Kaido. If you go directly to the door, you won't be killed. But, little ones, don't doubt, we'll take down that marine base today. Since it's a marine hero, maybe that base has the blood of the hero Roland stored in it, and even if it doesn't, we can use a base's marines hostage, blackmail marine to deal. ... The head of the Marine 6 branch is the Vice Admiral Crane, the old friend of the hero Roland. She must have the blood of the hero Roland there. Vice Admiral Crane's youthful youth speaks for itself. The reason why the Vice Admiral Crane is immortal must be because of the hero Roland. She is the best proof of immortality. Even if you don't get the blood of the hero Roland, and you get the Vice Admiral Crane of the next level, it may have an unexpected effect. Little ones, come on. If we lay down here, we will become prosperous. ... On this day, the lower-class pirates in the world are also crazy. Gorosei, 5 elders proud. Lights, erasure command. Open black lens bracket for subscription close black lens bracket. Right above the red earth continent. Center of world power, Holy Land Mariajoy. The 4th of Gorosei, 5 elders, who represents the highest power in the world on the bright side, gathers again. It's just that compared to the frown every time before. This time, the old faces of the Gorosei, 5 elders were all with wanton, flamboyant, happy smiles. Cheers to our victory. The old star Ferdinand in the dark blue suit raised the goblet in his hand, the wine in the glass swayed, bright red like blood. Cheers. Really happy. Finally, let's get a game back. Samurai veterans, bald-headed veterans and curly-haired veterans all smiled and toasted together. Ha 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 ha, cool, it's really cool. The exposure of this secret has a greater impact than we imagined. The bald old star laughed happily. The impel down incident was fooled by that bastard, and even the Birdman in Morgan's used the pressure of the fishing reel to turn against the army, but this time it's different, this time we have the upper hand. The corner of Samurai Lao Xing's mouth opened a huge arc. If I had known this, I should have released this card earlier. Now, that bastard Luo Lin's expression must be very exciting, but unfortunately I didn't see it. The curly-haired old star sneered proudly to himself. This is human nature. The dark blue suit star Ferdinand's eyes flashed coldly. So far, we have been in a misunderstanding, and we don't want to let the events of the year be exposed prematurely and split Marine. In the end, we feel disgraceful, but now, it seems that there are not a few people who have the same idea as us. Indeed, human nature is the thing that can't stand the most consideration. We are still human after all, and our ideas are also the ideas of the public. When everyone in the world felt the need for heroes to devote their lives to medical research, that incident was no big deal. 4 Gorosei, 5 elders looked at each other and smiled, feeling that the future was bright. These are just the appetizers. At the beginning, the incident 36 years ago, and the humiliation we have suffered in the past few months, this time we have to pay it back. The old warrior star's eyes were cold. William's side is now receiving treatment at Lord Yimu's side, and he should be able to fully recover in the near future. By then, the 5 of us will be united, and a gaffe similar to the last time can happen again. The curly-haired old star spoke flatly. The bald old star nodded. Before William fully recovers, let's give that bastard Roland some gifts, and completely knock down his so-called heroic halo. That's really good too. The samurai star nodded in agreement. But how exactly? I already have an idea about this. The old star Ferdinand in the dark blue suit nodded. What idea? A few days ago, the troubled rookie in Weisung, Luffy in the straw hat just hit Tenryubito. In the past, this is a big event that Admiral will be dispatched. If the people from Marine don't want to go, we will send them by ourselves. Dark blue suit veteran Ferdinand sneered. Straw hat monkey Luffy, he looks like that Garp's grandson. The curly-haired old star frowned. What about Garp's grandson anyway? That old guy Garp wears the same pair of pants as that bastard Roland. Sooner or later, they will be against each other. This time, it's his grandson who will take care of it. The bald old star spoke violently. And besides, the crime of hitting Tenryubito, that straw hat boy is the dragon's son, and he is one of the lights that Lord Yimu named to put out. Dark blue suit veteran Ferdinand spoke quietly. What son of the revolutionary dragon? Sama personally ordered. Then there is no need to worry. Other 3 Gorosei, 5 elders nodded in shock. So, who are you going to send? Asked the samurai star. The candidates have already been selected. Isn't that kid Doflamingo always wanting to come back? Then this time, let's give him a chance to become Tenryubito again. I'd like to see if that arrogant kid has the spirit. The old star in the dark blue suit sneered. Doflamingo, well. Very good. Then do it. Get in touch now. Gorosei, 5 elders all know Isho. Chapter 677 Kizaru strikes. Settling West Blue in 8 hours. Open black lens bracket for subscription. Close black lens bracket. Marine Headquarters, Marineford. Loud alarm bells rang out. The red alert flashes incessantly. Nervous and oppressive haze loomed over, causing the entire Marine headquarters to enter the wartime first-level alert state. Marshal Sengoku, there is a report from the base of the 168th branch of the Great Air Route. The enemy is attacking. Report to Marshal Sengoku that the West Blue 258 branch base was attacked by pirates. Mr. Sengoku, the 6th branch where Suru Vice Admiral is located is in an emergency. Headquarters building and the Marshal's office was almost breached. After another, communications sailors rushed to report emergencies around the world. Since the establishment of Marine hundreds of years ago, this is the first time that the pirates actively attack the Marine base on a large scale. Even Marine, as the dominant force in the sea, faces such a huge attack at the same time, it is inevitable frustrated. Sengoku, the Marine Marshal, suppressed his anger, kept calm, and gave clear instructions one by one in a methodical manner. The style of the head coach is on full display. So about 3 hours later, the rough command deployment is basically completed. Rao is Sengoku. After completing such a huge amount of work, his head also felt dizzy. He slumped on the chair and let out a long breath. As expected of Mr. Sengoku, Admiral Kuzan stepped in. The usual lazy face is now a rare serious. Kuzan, didn't you say you were going to support Suru? Sengoku asked. I contacted Gion just now, they probably don't need my help. Admiral Kuzan rode. That's fine. Sengoku nodded, secretly relieved. Thanks to Mr. Roland's handling of the 4 Emperor thieves and the Beast Pirates some time ago, Whitebeard and Red Hair are not the ones who will take the initiative to challenge things. Otherwise, our manpower will really be insufficient this time. Admiral Kuzan sighed to himself, and then the conversation changed abruptly. Mr. Sengoku, what the hell is going on about Mr. Roland's secret, how it went out of control and ran wild in just a few days? It's really unusual. This is exactly the charm of immortality. The evil, that was originally hidden is now fully erupted. Sengoku folded his hands against his chin, his eyes dimmed under the frog's glasses. Sure enough, the government is pushing and helping them. Don't they know that doing so will also cause a heavy blow to our marine? Admiral Kuzan said sullenly. Strike, weaken the strength of our marine, this may also be their purpose. Sengoku opened his mouth coldly. Mr. Sengoku, you mean? Admiral Kuzan suddenly widened his eyes, already understanding the hidden meaning of Sengoku's words. This era is no longer saved. In this case, what we have to do is to defeat the evil tide of the era with all our strength and welcome the arrival of a new era. Sengoku looked firm and strong, and he had already made up his mind. Then let it go, Mr. Sengoku. Admiral Kuzan grinned. Isho. West Blue. Waesung Allied Forces Temporary Base Island. The Waesung generals headed by Chief Instructor Zephyr gathered together with a solemn expression. Damn it, the rumors spread by some bastard is really ridiculous. It's heartbreaking. A veteran general smashed the armrest of the chair with an angry fist. Unusual, this speed of spreading is not unusual, it must be the world government behind it. Another veteran general spoke affirmatively. The world government is really deceiving people. We haven't even asked them to settle the account of the incident 36 years ago. It's a big deal, let everything be revealed to the world, and everyone's fish will die and the net will be broken. More than 20 veterans in the field were filled with righteous indignation. Shut up all. A majestic snort emanated from Zephyr's mouth, making the audience instantly quiet. The game with the world government is handed over to Luo Lin. I believe that guy. What we have to do now is to defeat the evil. That's all. Zephyr opened his mouth with a determined look. Drip, the clock hanging on the wall goes to 9 o'clock in the morning. A dazzling beam of light illuminated the dim temporary conference room from the outside in. Borsellino. Zephyr frowned. Countless dazzling photons gathered from all directions, condensing the figure of Admiral Kizaru. As expected of Mr. Zephyr, if that's the case, please count me in this task. Admiral Kizaru spoke smoothly, without the usual vulgarity between his words. The expression on the wretched old face, who had always been careless, contained a rare trace of hidden anger. Okay, let's go, Borsellino. Zephyr nodded in approval. Oh. Admiral Kizaru clenched his fist, and the cloak of justice rattled behind him. So, everyone at 5 p.m., see you later. Admiral Kizaru smiled goodbye. The golden light flashed and disappeared in an instant. See Circle Calendar Winter 152. The highest combat power of Marine Headquarters, Admiral Kizaru Borsellino 88 hours and 88 to pacify West Blue. Chapter 678 G6 Crisis. Isho and Enel, S Big Move Burst Subscribe. The Great Root, Marine Branch Base. Boom bang 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 bang. The dazzling flames on the copper and iron walls of the base were uncertain. The roar of artillery fire continued. See, huge waves formed one after another. Pieces of the wreckage of the pirate ship were scattered. This sudden war started in the early hours of the morning and has lasted for nearly 6 hours. I don't know how many turrets at the base have been defeated. Pirate ships, but the number of pirate ships on the sea still hasn't decreased. Contrast, the high-intensity battle of 6 hours 6 came down. The copper and iron walls of the main entrance of the base also suffered a major blow, and the traces of shelling can be seen everywhere, and the defense force has dropped sharply. The scale of this raid on Base 6 was extraordinary. Obviously it wasn't the pirates who came up with it on the spur of the moment. Behind it, there must be a mysterious pusher who dominates everything. Suru Vice Admiral, the 5th wave is coming soon, and the leader this time has a bounty of 410 million berry. A bloody Marine Rear Admiral shouted and reported. Well, I see, pass my order, the next staffing. Even if the situation is critical, Vice Admiral Crane is still calm and graceful, and methodically conveys the most appropriate instructions. The General Staff of Marine's headquarters, of course, is not a false name. After a while, Marine in the conference room ordered the school leaders to retreat. Suru let out a long breath and took a sip from the teacup on the table. Sister He, as expected, let me go. Thanks to Sister E's medicine, my arm is completely fine. Guillaume waved by Nen's right hand and swore to speak. In the melee a few hours ago, he was always at the forefront of the battlefield. Facing Guillaume, which was besieged by a swarm of big pirates, his right arm was not very good. A sniper who was proficient in observation hockey penetrated, and his blood was blurred. If it wasn't for Suru's treatment with the panacea that he got from Roland in time and preserved. Even if Guillaume's arm is not broken, it is difficult to restore it to a state where it can be used freely. No. To Guillaume's request, Suru just shook his head calmly and categorically refused. Sister Crane, look, I'm really fine now, thanks to my dads. I'm 100 times more energetic now. Guillaume spoke energetically, full of fighting spirit. If Guillaume-sama, you're afraid you won't be able to explain to your father. Guillaume. Suru nodded slightly, interrupting Guillaume's request. Of course I am most aware of your strength. The reason why I didn't let you go out to fight is because it is no longer necessary, and the second is that this 6 needs your strength to be deterred. Suru said in a deep voice, her beautiful eyes gleaming, and she was in control. There's no need for this. What does that mean? Mr. Kuzan will take a long time to come. Guillaume tilted his head in confusion, and he was cute for a moment. We can contact you at the headquarters, so Kuzan doesn't need to come here. Let's go to other places to support. Suru spoke calmly. Guillaume's pretty face became more and more puzzled. Boom boom boom, and boom boom, at this moment. An indescribable terrifying roar accompanied by the extremely dull thunder suddenly resounded through the sea, making it deafening. This voice is. Guillaume's expression changed. Let's go out and see. Suru got up and stepped on the base city wall with the moon step first. Oh. Meteorite, It's a meteorite. Ha ha ha, evil pirates, accept God's punishment. ... City wall. Under the harassment of the pirates, the exhausted sailors laughed and shouted excitedly. Of meteorites that suddenly fell from the sky and hit the pirates, there was extreme shock and excitement on their faces. These meteorites are. Seeing the spectacular bolide that defeated the cunning pirate fleet at that moment, Guillaume's eyes widened. It was astonishingly aware of the identity of the person who helped. Please enjoy this fire festival day to the fullest. In the sky. The blind swordsman Isho, who was wearing a large kimono, slowly returned to its sheath. Then, sitting on the floating stone platform, he landed in front of Suru and Guillaume. I am a little late. I am very sorry. Isho apologized. No, Mr. Isho, we are very grateful for your assistance, but if you come, is there really no problem with Wei Sung? Guillaume waved his hands again and again. No problem, Miss Guillaume, don't worry. Isho confident Isho. Then he turned around and looked at the pirates struggling on the sea with white eyes. Leave it to us next. Guillaume opened his mouth. Don't worry, Guillaume. Suru shook his head helplessly. There's really no need to worry, Miss Guillaume, this time the old man is not alone. Isho Vivi Isho pointed to the dark sky. It was bright day, but the sky was darker than night. In the thick dark cloud, the electric snake wandered unsteadily, releasing a destructive aura. This thundercloud, could it be? Shock Kid. Guillaume subconsciously said. Yeah ha ha ha. Suddenly, loud laughter came from the thick thunder cloud. The going light was released, and the thunder god, the god of thunder, was standing on the bow of the going ship with unparalleled power. Weak mortals who dare to covet the blood of the gods will be punished by the envoy of the gods. Enel, who still did not change her dual nature, laughed. God, sanction. The terrifying thunder of boom fills the sky and the earth. Everything is invisible. Ellipsis.